Hello and welcome back to the first vlog of the week. One cancellation today, not on purpose. The guys had a bump over the weekend, so the car's got to get looked at for insurance, so it's probably not going to get through an MOT because the headlight's been damaged. That was actually one of my cars, Mondeo, had it remapped straight through exhaust. It was a little minter, so I've asked them if that thing gets written off, I want it back cheap, because you can buy them back through the insurance company. If it only needs a headlight and a bit of a repair and a bumper, I will most certainly have that car back, because old Joe behind us, I've mentioned him on the other videos, who passed away, he had it, and he did his usual of spending a fortune on it. So that's that one being cancelled, so I haven't quite got as much in today. So yeah, that's why that one's not in. So I'll swing it round and I'll show you what's in. We haven't got a great deal in today. Got this in, a Corsa. A few little tips I'll give you with these engines in them. You get 1200, you get your 3-cylinder 1 litre, awful. You get your 1.2, your 1.4 in the time and chain. Typically they rattle on and they get themselves in such a mess inside the engines that they're just not the best. As you can see, the oil in this thing is black. So what we're going to do with this one, because it's a new car, believe it or not, it's the son of the guy who's got the Mondeo. I don't often use these, but in some cases I do. I'm going to stick an engine flush into it, let it run for 20 minutes. And then we'll do an oil and filter change, obviously original equipment parts. And as you know, the oil I use is the fully synthetic 530 Dexos 2, which is for these. So that's what this is in for, just a quick once over and an oil change. This wasn't even booked in, but it's been brought in, this caddy. I'm going to stick the machine on it in a minute. Everybody raves on about these. I just want to put it out there. Like this, unless you really know what you're dealing with, this whole ramping and raving on about these VWs, the caddies, the transporters, they're okay, but you're paying a lot of money and they're really not as reliable as what everybody makes out. But I think everybody just simply wants the VW, wants the caddy if they want a little van, wants the VW, wants the transporter if they want something bigger. But trust us, these things are not what they're cracked out to be. This in particular, it's a school vehicle, minibus, converted. Have a quick look round it. As you can see, it's got the seats in the back, sliding doors. This is like the Caddy Maxi, I think they call it, because it's the longer one, but it's all been properly converted for disabled use. As you can see there, it's got the ramp, the cutout and the bumper. Absolutely huge thing, like, don't get us wrong, very practical vehicle. But have a look at this 13 plate. Open the door, see if the miles comes on. 29,000 mile. Certainly doesn't get a hard life at all. This is the 1600 diesel, and it's already had 2 injectors, and these are piezo injectors. They can't be reconditioned and they cost an absolute fortune. And guess what it's in for? But we'll start it up. I need to put the scanner on. I might come back to you quickly and show you what codes we're getting, but when we start it up, put on the clutch. We've got the old engine management light on, and when it come in, it did have the flashing glow plug light, and it was running fairly rough. So got to scan it and find out if it is another injector on it. I'm hoping it's just a regen or something it needs, because it doesn't get very many miles. And I've also said to the guy, I find it hard to believe at 29,000 mile it should be needing injectors, so I'm hoping they're just like clogged up, like the actual nozzles that go into the cylinder. So I might do a regen, because it was definitely attempting. If you ever have one of these vags and they run quite fast at idle, it's what you call a failed regen. They're attempting to do a regen, but they've got to like cool off, and you'll tend to find your fan comes on. So I'm going to attempt to do a regen once I've cleared the codes, put some injector cleaner in, and if that doesn't do the job, I might guess it'll be cylinder 1 or 3. 2 or 3, because these 2 end ones have been replaced, but I need to find out that on the scans. But a top tip with any of these Volkswagen, any VAG group, Audi, Skoda, Seat, Volkswagen, this 1.6 engine, avoid it. They are absolutely crap. So I don't know why. They're very, very, very similar makeup to the 2 litre, but they just seem to be so much more unreliable than the 2 litres. That's just my personal opinion from what I see, but I rarely see many problems. But you ask yourself the question, 29,000 mile, fully serviced school vehicle. They do not skimp on this vehicle. It gets fuel filters serviced, everything when it should be. why at 29,000 miles should it need, well, we're on to 3 and 4 injectors now, and I'm sure that something like 400, 500, 600 pound are not cheap. So there we go, there's your caddy for you. Move over here, I've got this Citroen C3 in. This is in for just a simple service and MOT. Jump inside. Oh, actually there is a job I forgot that I was meant to do on this. As you can see on the dashboard, the light is lit up with service. So with these, you just need to hold in the reset button. I need 3 hands to do this, so I'll just pause it. You hold this in and switch the ignition on. And as you can see, it's counting down to 4, to 3, to 2, to 1, and off. The little spanner's off now, and the service light's off now. Turn it off, turn it back on, start it up. No service light, so there you go. There's a quick introduction of how to do the service light on this oil and filter. I'll go through the engine on this quickly, things to look out for and what not to look out for. Personally, don't buy one. Front springs on them, absolute nightmare to do, total nightmare to do. Really actually bad, like one of the worst cars ever for springs distorting on them and going through the tyres, excuse the wind. But mainly it's what's under the bonnet which you want to avoid with these things. There's your beautiful clattering 3-cylinder engine, which now you'll find in all your Vauxhalls because Citroen and Peugeot have taken over Vauxhall. Top tip with these, if you do an oil and filter change on them, you should always do this anyway, but make sure you pre-fill the oil filter on it. Because I've known these where they get an airlock in the oil system and they actually can run dry and you've got major issues there. But listen to that quality. Sounds truly dreadful, that does. But I'm not finished with that, because if you open, everybody knows you've got a timing chain on most cars. I've just mentioned about them Corsas, the rattle on, the timing chains, or you have a timing belt, which is naturally a rubber belt on the outside of the engine. So what are the new developments? If you've heard of this, fair enough, you'll understand. But no, now there's a lovely idea now, pretty much on all the new Transit vans, all the Citroen Peugeot stuff, pretty much across the board, is what happens if you get oil on a rubber belt? They say to throw it away, don't they? Or if you've got a timing belt and you have an oil leak on it, like a camshaft oil seal or crankshaft oil seal, change the belt immediately because it's contaminated. Oh no, we'll go one better than that, Citroen and Peugeot say, and all these other companies will fit a wet belt. See that down in there? That is a rubber belt running in engine oil. Recipe for disaster, because they'd start to shred and the oil pickup pipe in the sump gets blocked and then you knock your engine, or because they're running in oil, even though they're super duper special belts, which is a load of rubbish, they snap early. But anyways, even so, a chain pretty much, when a car gets to the end of its life, you can say a chain lasts the lifetime of a car. And you know, I've seen chains go 200,000-300,000 miles, no problems. Normally the tensioners give up, but these need replaced because they are a rubber belt. So as you can imagine, to change that rubber belt inside of the engine, huge strip down job, massive expense. So these they call them the 1.2. They call it like a funny name. They do a turbocharged version of these as well. Is it like a T something? Anyways, it's Citroen and Peugeot's own brand. But be careful, because they use this in all the Vauxhall range. They call it, what is it? The Greenland X and things like that. They use all now. Obviously, Citroen and Peugeot are part of Vauxhall. They use it in all them. So definitely avoid this engine. Plus, it sounds dreadful. It's got no power. Ugh, nah, honestly, just give me an old banger any day. Still waiting for the lock barrel for that, as you'll have seen last week. Yeah, so I'll switch that round. Up to nearly 10 minutes, so I'll just keep it short. I just want to find out, has everybody had a good weekend? I had a good one on Saturday. The wind was that bad. We just took the dogs out around the field and just had a bit of a walk. Sunday, went to Newcastle on the bus with my son. Haven't been on the bus for about 2 years. That was a good adventure. We went into Newcastle for the day, walked across the Tyne Bridge, got a few photos, went down to the quayside, went to the Stack, if anybody knows what that is. It was a nice teepee in the middle of the Newcastle city centre with a nice big kind of wood fire inside. It was freezing with the wind. It was nice to get out and enjoy it, and enjoy some heat. It was a cold walk back to the bus. What have you guys been up to this weekend? Had a good weekend? Distant memory now, back to work Tuesday, got a whole week worth. So what I'll do, I'll tell you what, I'll pause it here and I'll get the codes up on that caddy and we'll just see what we're dealing with. Right, so here we're on the caddy, as suspected, another injector. So just be warned when you're buying these VWs thinking you're fitting in with the crew kind of thing. There's a lot, honestly, you would call Citroen and Peugeots like I did with that over there. But for the money you pay for these things, man, it's just... So there's the codes. Injector 2, so that's 3 injectors gone in 29,000 miles. I know it's a 13 plate, but by God, you expect better than that. And obviously there's a control module faulty, but this does suffer with standing occasionally for the battery going flat. So there you go. There's the codes for that. So I'm going to just, to be quite honest, I'm going to stick some injector cleaner in. It's also flagged up as it needing a regen. And then after that, then they are going to have to spend money. Because the only thing is, because it says injector circuit, so it probably is definitely the internals of the injector starting to go. But at the same time, you've got to try the cheaper options first. One final thing to end the day. I've just obviously got the flush running in that there now. But just thought I would show you this, what somebody give with carrier bag. Anybody remember these? I've got a whole box of them dating from 2008. Remember these? The Glasses Guide. He's actually got some like really old ones. I just thought it would work for a bit of kind of good reading. Crikey, I think they date back a lot longer than that. So that 2009. 2009. So you know, we'll have a look in this 2008. We'll just flick the one random page here. Let's just see the price of cars now. There we go. Citroen C5 1.6 HDI. What would that be? Glass retail 8,700. There you go. So an 04 plate Citroen. You'd be lucky if it's worth £1,500, £1,000 now. Some interesting reading on that. BMW 320i. It's 2,000 reg, obviously an X reg, up to an 07. What's that? 5-door state Touring. Obviously there's all the different specs there. 8 grand. Look how things have changed there. Quite interesting. I've got a whole box, a whole carrier bag of them. You know, it's just quite interesting to look back to see what prices used to go. They'll probably just get through in the bin into recycling, but it makes for a good bit of reading, doesn't it, to think you pay 20, 30 grand for something and in 10, 15, 20 years time you're lucky if you get 1,500 quid for it. So I'll swing this round. I've got a few jobs, well actually I'll swing it back around, few job time this week. I've got the gearbox oil to change on this. I'm going to do an aircon service on it, and I've got a few little things on a list I've written down. What was it? I'll not put this in my daily channel, this will just go towards my project. Aircon, I might do a bit of the stone chip around the front end. Gear oil, I've got the proper Toyota seals for it in there somewhere. For the gearbox, for the refill and drain. It just works out better. So there you go. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I hope you've enjoyed. Like I say, this is just me daily vlogging. You know, I can only put in what I'm actually doing. If I ain't doing nothing interesting, then hey ho. But let us know how you've been on the weekend. I forgot about that. We've had 2 storms, one after the other. To be honest, we haven't been hit that bad. There's been the odd tree come down. To be honest, it's more blustery the day than it has been when it was supposed to be the storms. But have any of you guys around the country been hit hard by them? Let us know. You know, this is what I'm interested in. I'm showing you a bit of my day-to-day life. Let me know a bit of your day-to-day life. It all helps the channel grow. So I'll cut this one here and I'll catch you tomorrow. I'm not sure what's in. I'll have to check the diary. But I'll be back tomorrow sometime with another video. Thanks for watching. Like I've said, if you like it, hit the like button. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe. There's a lot of people still watching me content who aren't subscribed. So I mean, if you don't sign into YouTube, just make an account up. It takes you less than 2 minutes, and just hit the subscribe button. And it just means every time I load something up, you get a notification, and it's probably easier to allow you to comment, because if you're not logged in or signed in, you can't. And it doesn't cost a penny. It's totally free. Catch you next time. Bye.